Chip.
Hey, good morning. I'm Steve.
Jackie.
And Tyler.
And this is
Chip's Garage.
Today, Steve, we got a whole new theme going on we haven't done, and that's about you can get into these older cars without spending tons and tons of money, right? You got to do the work yourself. You got to be creative. We talked about duct tape and wire type stuff. The car's nice, don't take me wrong. And then a car that has been passed down through the family, which is a good way to go on these old cars, because you can teach your family, and we'll hear some stories today about teaching your family members about these cars. Yeah, so let's do a couple shout outs.
Okay, Kelly, where's Kelly? We have a special guest today. Come on over. Come on over. Oh, you have to. Nature, what's that? Nature Coast Cruising Magazine?
Nature Cruise Coast.
Okay, sorry to put you on the spot, but hey, you're part of us now. Okay, and she has the best magazine in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, the pictures are beautiful.
Tons of color, which we all like.
They work very hard, these two people, to get all this
our
out.
husband.
And what else you do? Shirts and.
Yeah, we have a full business branding shop as well called Urge Apparel.
In Spring Hill, Florida.
Right here in Spring Hill.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
So hats, t-shirts, all that kind of
T-shirts,
stuff.
promotional items, trade show items.
Yeah, good.
If you can think of it for a business, we do it.
Yeah,
and
and
you
how would they get in touch with you?
352-MY-PRINT is our phone number. You can call the office. It's 352-MY-PRINT.
There you
Good,
go.
good.
Okay.
Also want to give a shout out to Tara, FloridaCarShows.com, FLACarshows.com. Check it out. You find all the car shows, newsletter every month, articles. Unbelievable job. And
Leadfoot City.
yeah.
Soon. It's coming soon. Drifting, drags.
So excited.
And you're right there, huh?
We're about 10 minutes away from
I
it.
know,
We
you're
can't
right
wait.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into this car.
Okay,
So
all
let's
right.
get over here. Now, Jackie, this was your father's car.
Yes, my father picked this car up in about '91. It came from Carroll Stream, Illinois, and it actually had orange flames painted on the side.
Traditional hot rod style.
We got it home, and my dad pretty much tore it down, and I watched him build it back up.
Nice.
He painted it himself with the help of some neighbors. We used to have beverages for the neighbors and teach all the kids in the neighborhood about the car.
Let's jump in real quick, and I want to keep going, but you're touching so many great things. So he painted this in the garage at the house?
That's what I was going to say.
He actually had a friend who had a paint shop in his garage, which was in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So he would drive the car over there, leave it over there, and then they worked on it together.
Okay, but it was at somebody's home garage.
It was in somebody's home garage.
Yeah,
yes.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and you're talking about, so all the work was done. It wasn't at a major shop or anything. It was in a home garage
Absolutely.
built.
She's never been in a shop overnight.
Amazing. Now, how long ago did he buy it?
He bought the car in '91. It was already, it's a '67, so she was already on the road for a little while, but she needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. And my dad did everything himself.
Nice.
And I got to witness the whole thing, and we had an engine lift in the garage, and just
Amazing.
hand him tools.
It
all
reminds
day.
me of the good old days,
Yes,
Steve,
yes.
right? When we grew
Yes.
up, that's how we did
Did you have
things.
other siblings to help her?
No, I'm an
Just
only
you?
child. So this is my sister.
That's your sister. I like
I
that
bet yeah, you mean that too, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have
She's
to get
not
permission.
going. She's not going anywhere.
She's
She's been in the family. I have a lot of cousins that admire the car. A lot of other friends that we did a lot of car shows and tours with. So we're very, very proud to have her in the family.
Let's back up for 1 second because we didn't do it. So it's a 1967 Camaro RS SS,
Correct.
right?
Hardtop.
And Steve, tell us about the RS SS real quick.
Okay, the
difference.
RS was your basic pack. You had a plain Jane, then you had the RS that gave you some options, chrome and
The flip-up
you can get the
headlights.
headlights. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get them. You can get some other things, and they usually came with the two 327s, a 210 horse and a 275 horse.
Right.
Okay. Then you went to the SS. That gave you the full options of all the chrome, the stainless steel, hideaway lights, and that was the Cadillac of the Camaros, the SS.
Yeah, the best you could get
And
in
if
a
you
Camaro.
view over to here, you can see they're both 67 reds. They both have 350s. They both have 4 speeds. One's a hardtop, one's a convertible.
Right, now, is this a Muncie 4-speed in this, Steve?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
is it a Muncie?
And
Okay.
you said it was M22.
M22 rock crusher, yes.
Really? Okay, so you get that wind
Oh,
when
yes.
you're driving
Oh,
it. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So again, for the viewers, some of you younger viewers, Muncie 4-speed back in the day was the ultimate, right? Every hot rodder wanted it. And the M22 rock crusher was the king.
Yeah.
But they whine, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's nothing wrong with it when it's going, you know, in first
Well, why
gear.
do they whine? Because
Yeah.
they're straight cut gears.
Good.
And mine are heli cut, and they're a straight cut.
Exactly. Tell them the difference, because some
Yeah,
of the viewers
because
won't
you know they're angle gears, and that was more for passenger cars.
Make it smoother
And smoother. Mine's an M20. You can get an M21 or an M22. M22 was a rock crusher that was made for racing.
Yeah.
It got behind the big small blocks and the big blocks, and there was a bulletproof transmission
Yeah.
back in the day.
They didn't care what it sounded like. They just wanted it to stay together when they jammed it in, right?
Sound like an old milk truck coming, but I loved it.
Now, 10 bolt or 12 bolt rear end?
12.
This is 12 bolt.
12 bolt. There you go. Good old 12 bolt. I like the 12 bolt.
And if you notice, 12 bolt, 12 bolt, 12 bolt. All three of them had 12 bolts.
Yep. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the paint a little bit. So it's a home paint job, but man, it's gorgeous.
It's
Tell us
beautiful.
the color, the mix, whatever.
The name is Candy Brandy Wine, and it is a very nostalgic color. People are attracted to it because it mimics the candy apple red, and it does have about 3 to 4 layers of gold flake on primer. So when she's in the sun, she turns colors pretty
Yeah.
much. It's a whole different car in the sun compared to the shade, and it's just an eye catcher. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's very deep.
And traditionally, usually when they do the primer, it's just a gray primer, just like everything else. But
Yeah.
what he did is he actually did a gold primer underneath that really just soaks in that deepness into it and actually
Yeah.
makes that deep color pop.
That's
especially in
what
the
it
sun.
gave it that depth. Yeah. Now I noticed the pinstriping. Who did that?
My father had paid somebody to do that freehand, and what
There's some up here.
there's a real special spot in the car, on the car that we'll get to, and it's towards the rear of the vehicle. But it's a love story.
Let's look at it real quick.
Yeah,
Let's
since we're
look at
here.
it.
Okay.
So my mom and dad were married in '66, and they loved this car together. And my father's name is Jim, and my mother's name is Gladys, and he loved my mom to death. So another kind of romantic, morbid story, but it's my story. When they both passed away, I kept their ashes,
Yeah.
and we had to build a special shed for her. She was not going to go into a storage facility. I was not going to let that happen. So
Well, it's your sister. You can't.
that's right. So when we were building the shed for her, we had the concrete poured, and I asked the gentleman, could I please put their ashes in the concrete? So she sits on the slab where their ashes are, so they're always together.
Now this gets into the theme that we talked about, and a beautiful story. Look, these old cars, this is what happens, this kind of stuff.
Yes.
You know, again, let's keep this culture going. Let's get these young people involved, but that's the kind of things that happens with these. They bring families together. They bring lovers together. It's wonderful. What
Yes.
I mean, what a great story,
This
Steve.
car's from Chicago, and my dad and mom used to actually be in a couple car clubs, and my dad would drag down, I'm trying to think, Harlem Avenue. So they're always together. They drove together. We drove cross country together many times, and so yeah, it's a very nostalgic family thing.
You got a story like that real quick. My buddy died, and he was the parts guy. He was a gearhead right to the end. He had a Camaro like mine. Awesome guy, known him for years. And when he died, we took his ashes, put it on the ground, we did burnouts over it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you know, his mother and sister said that's what he would have wanted. You know? And,
Yeah.
Another thing too, growing up in the car culture, being a woman, girl power, I grew up on Great Lakes Dragway. I mean, I remember when Shirley Muldowney would race against Big Daddy, and it was a big woman, you know, like,
Yeah.
go girl,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Girl power is great.
We did a video, check it out, on girl power with cars, right?
yep,
Yeah,
yep,
57
Yeah,
Chevrolet.
she is beautiful. She's going to drive it to the Keys from here.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
But the whole video is about, and
yeah,
again,
girls.
get the women involved, get the children involved, let them sit in the car, tell them the stories, take them to the drive-in movies, take them to whatever, right?
yes,
And it's for everybody. She brings a good point. We'd love to see more women. Women, if you're out there and you want to get on our show, contact us.
Yes.
We're big into getting you involved in
Yes,
what's going on
yes,
here.
yes.
So, Tyler, what do you want to say about all this? Because
Well,
you
let's
know,
look
it's sort
under
of
the
her
hood.
story.
Okay, so it's intimidating because this was her her dad's baby,
Yeah.
and of course I have to make everything right for that portion. And so it was a challenge. When we had to transport her because she wasn't running that well from her father's old house to our house. I mean, it was a glorious mess because it was sputtering all the way down. Beautiful looking car, but just smoke coming up and everything. And it was actually a neighbor that was right down the street that owns a Nova. And he actually helped me start tuning, get it back up and running.
Yeah.
So it's running smoothly and everything and drivable. And it was probably the greatest pleasure to actually help get this back up to what it
Yeah,
needed to be.
and it's
maintain it too.
It's all the connection, right? It's
Right.
not even so much just the car, cool car, right? But the whole story and her and her father and the family.
Oh, yeah.
Did you notice he looks like Superman?
He does, yeah.
Jeez.
He does.
Everybody says
I mean, I'm sitting here
does.
watching him. Time like, man, he looks like
Christopher
Superman.
Reeves,
Better be careful, man.
Well, the point we're talking, you're a certified helicopter mechanic.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, cool.
A car mechanic and helicopter mechanic, two different
Two different animals, yes.
two different apples. So, but you could always rely on people like us and your neighbors. Your neighbor was a gearhead and all that. If I ever decide to get a Black Hawk, I'll come call you.
Please do. I hope maintain it.
And again, a great point. That's the thing about this culture. People are willing to help, right? Just call out. But I'm hearing also, you and a neighbor got this thing running and back up the snuff in a mechanical sense. So again, not a ton of money, right? You didn't have to
No.
spend a ton of money to do it. And just being passed down from your father. I don't know how much money you have in it, you don't have to say, but you've done it inexpensively, and it's a gorgeous car.
Thank you.
You know? So again, guys, you can get them right. Keep them in the family if you can. Do the work yourself. There's tons of people that will help you. You can Google stuff. There's videos.
YouTube
there's
University.
clubs. There you go. Yeah. What else we got here, Steve?
Well, we got Cragars. These are the modern Cragars, and I've always loved these too.
Absolutely.
Any Cragar, anything that says Cragar, I like it. But these are the modern Cragars, which are they're a beautiful Cragar. They're just wider spokes, a little bit wider spokes. And also I see you have slotted rotors on the front, disc brakes. You put disc brakes, which is good. Most of these cars did not come in, a 15-inch tire in 67 came with the disc brakes. Okay, other than that, we got power drum or no drum, or no power. So you updated it, which is good. You need to. No air, is that right?
No air. They
that's-
took everything. Yeah.
That's okay. You're a
all out.
cruiser. Rear view mirror on this side, which is nice. It's good to have. It wasn't a law then to have it.
That was an option,
Wow.
right,
It was
Steve?
an option,
yeah.
right.
This is a Chevy mirror.
Yeah, Chevy mirror
Yeah.
too. And also by 69, you had to have a heater. Before that, you didn't have to have a heater and defrost. Yeah. So a lot of
I
guys
didn't
in
know
67, 68, 69, they'd do a block out for racing. They have a big block with the M22, and they'd have no heater. But in 69, they made it a law.
Is this original? This chrome along the bottom like
Well, that's
that?
the RS.
Okay, so that was part of that package.
I can't understand. It's beautiful until you get to here. And this is original with 3 screws put in it.
You pointed
I know.
that out
I don't
before.
understand that because they could have bolted it from here and here, and it takes away from it.
Yeah, and that's the factory.
A factory
Yeah.
did it. Yeah. So if somebody says something, why'd you do that? No, that's factory. Go look at mine.
It's got the BF Goodrich T
Oh, yeah,
radials,
yeah,
excellent, by the way, for most of these old hot rods.
This is rare to see these. These are original seats, but the headrest you don't see them on convertibles, but you see them on some hardtops, which is really nice.
Yeah.
It really helps you out because right here is right about center of my back is my seat. Like my SRT is
Oh,
up to here
yeah.
because years ago because of whiplash and all
Yeah.
that, they start realizing safety.
You're right.
And then a wing window, right here.
Yeah, vent window.
Vent, and
That's
then
the air conditioning.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
your
us,
air
it's-
conditioning.
Yeah.
Poor man's. These are original, which is really nice that you kept. These are original stainless.
Right. Let's point
beautiful.
out. Let's point out the cowl induction hood again. And this is the reverse. They found that when the wind hits here, it sucks back down into the engine from this reverse side.
Cool air.
So very cool.
Yep, yep.
Now, Steve, would these, some of them came original with the cowl induction?
I think it was the 69Zs, if I'm not mistaken. Ask our viewers, but I think these had either a flat hood or hood like mine.
Yeah.
With the
Trays.
yeah, that or the stacks.
Okay.
But these I think were 69. I
Okay.
think there's a Trans Am racing hoods. Like
Okay,
that.
so if our viewers know when the cowl induction hood came out from the factory.
The cross ram, they were made, I think, for the cross
Yeah.
ram.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause Bob has one.
Yeah.
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 Well, let's take a look under that hood. I've been itching to look
Yeah.
under
Well,
that hood.
can we do the interior?
Oh, yeah,
I
sorry,
wanna
sorry.
that's it. Let's go around this.
You know what
side.
happens when I have my coffee?
Yeah, I know.
You know what happens?
You're
you know?
hyped up before your coffee.
Ah, because they're so beautiful.
Yeah,
these cars.
Tyler, why don't you get in and just sort of show us what you got going on inside here, show the viewers. And the first thing I know is, and Steve, look at the seatbelt the way it is.
Yep.
Yeah, the old roll-up seatbelt.
Yep.
Now, did this have the shoulder strap?
It did
originally?
not.
Okay.
Actually, it still kills us every time we get in there. We always reach over our shoulder,
Yeah.
drag it over.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yes, it's only a lap belt.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at that and come over here and look at this seatbelt, just do a small comparison.
Yeah.
See how they did this? Just like a little piece of metal with a spring in it.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's it. And then you can see as it progressed how they got better and better looking. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So go ahead, Tyler, point out what
Jackie,
you got going on
Jackie.
in there.
Tyler can do
Yep,
it.
so basically all it is that, he tried to keep the original speedometers and tachometers on here. Well, this one did not have a tachometer, that's why he kind of put it on here. He kind of rewired the whole inside. When he changed out the motor, which we'll explain a little bit why later, he didn't do the wiring harness and everything, so he had to keep everything, manually wired. So as far as the horn, the wiper blades, the fold-away headlights and everything, and his own cluster system down here. So he kind of made it his own in his own special way.
Yeah.
And so as much as a wiring mess it is, everything still works to what it needs to. So
Yeah.
and what do we say?
Always make it to your taste.
Exactly. And so it's just everything. He's changed out the carpet so many times. He's tried to keep his best as the interior and the seats and the leather in a great condition. So, and we do our best to keep her
Yeah,
clean too.
these carpets don't last long, especially if they're convertible. They fade out.
You're right.
They fade out. I replaced mine once.
Let's point this out too. These are vinyl. So a lot of the viewers, the newer people especially, don't realize, but these were vinyl seats. Very sticky, get very hot. But
Oh, yeah.
you know what? I actually like the feel of it because it just takes me back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's an actual vinyl, not a leather.
Well, on 68, right behind it, Tyler, right down here, they put a little, right here, right about where that pleat starts,
Yeah.
they put a chrome Chevy
yeah.
emblem. So when you had the convertible, you had one branded right in your back for the hot day. That was smart thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Center console. I mean, what a gorgeous car.
It's
Simple.
simple.
Yeah.
That's a good way. Simple. This would be a race car. This
Right.
is what you want. No air.
Yep.
M22, simple seats. Boom. Just
12
like
bolt.
12 bolt, and
Yeah.
you're ready.
Let's
And you
rock
see
and
this car
roll.
coming down the boulevard, you know there was business, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you were hanging in the back seat?
I don't even know if I've ever been in the back seat.
Always a front, huh?
Yeah, always the yes.
And you were
passenger.
saying you don't drive because of the clutch, but the clutch is 11-inch clutch, and it's a heavy-duty
Yeah,
clutch on
that-
it.
it's-
These
it's
are
a
truck
little-
clutches.
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they're
tough
truck
for me.
clutches, yeah. But it's beautiful. I love it. I love the color.
Yeah.
And we're going to
absolutely.
put it outside in the sun afterwards and show you
Yeah,
yours.
we do need to do that. Oop. Let's go ahead and open that hood up.
That's what I've been waiting
yeah,
for.
let's-
That's what I've been
let's
waiting
show
for,
the
yeah.
business here.
And you can see he doesn't have the bumblebee stripe like mine, but he has the pinstripe and all, which
Right.
is really nice.
All right, so tell us what you got going on here, either Jackie or Tyler, whoever.
Well, so I mean, when he was racing it beforehand, he actually blew the original motor that was inside of it, unfortunately.
Which was a
It was a 327, I believe it was.
It's 327.
And so he took this one out of a what was it? It was
An 85 Impala.
It was the 85. It's a 350 small block, 750 Edelbrock intake
Wow.
with also the carburetor, hooker headers, just chromed out. It's got the Pete Jackson noisy gears
Okay.
and
Gear
zoom
to
gears
gear.
inside
Yep.
of it. Yep.
what is that?
Gear to gear. Timing.
Oh, yeah,
gears,
yeah.
It gives
Pete
it a
Jackson,
good whir.
Yeah, like
Yep.
a supercharger.
Yep.
Nice. Now headers. He's got the right down here. Look, see the double humps. The double humps, right there. That's what everybody looked at and says, "Oh, you got double hump heads." They could be either 194 Feelies, which are great heads,
Yes.
or 202s, which are the best heads.
Yeah.
So if you had the
Back then.
Yeah. Back then, and that's 2.2-inch valves in it, and that was the Mac Daddy to have.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock, and headers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
big cam in it, and you know, that's what everybody liked then.
Yeah, and they put the chrome package on, which again was they did end up chroming out the intake manifold, but they did the valve covers, they did the water pump, they did the alternator, so they chromed everything out. These are just, what do you call these they're for tightening the
Stabilizer
front,
bars.
Stabilizer
yeah.
bars,
Yeah, it's like we showed the other car had one going across. These went right here.
Yeah, and this is an updated radiator,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Yeah, when you have a hot rod, the aluminum radiator is the best way to go
Absolutely.
with the fans.
I mean, this is the
Yeah.
perfect
I know.
old muscle car.
I'm going to see if
hot
he
rod.
wants to sell it after this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. This is exactly what I'd love to cruise around in.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, let's start it up and listen. to this
Yeah,
bad
let's hear
boy.
it. Let's hear it. I'm going to go to the back like I usually do. And
Electric fan. Oh, there's that. Before you do that, Steve, come up here. Because I want them to hear the wine you were talking about here. Wow. Yeah, now go ahead and get the sound out
more
back.
out. It's just that.
Yeah, no, it sounds cool, man.
Listen to the cam.
Wow. Go ahead and rev it a couple more times. Oh man, Steve.
That sounds good.
Wow.
The smell.
That's good. You can shut it off. Wow.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's
What's that,
super
2.5 or 3
cool
inch
hot
exhaust?
rod.
I think it's 2.5.
2.5. Yeah, it sounds good with turbo mufflers or.
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
As I said, so
Probably
since we inherited and everything like that, I'm still getting to learn. A lot of things are undocumented what he did to it, so I'm still learning as I go too.
Yeah.
And so that's the fun of it. Also,
just
'cause when
gonna
I'm
say
going
that.
to the the car shows and meeting all these people who have been doing this for years, like they named all this stuff up. I'm like, well, I didn't know I had all that. I mean, that's great to know. I love to know that this thing has so much potential in it, which it already has.
It does. No, it's right at the top. You just have to fine tune it. That's it.
Sorry.
No problem. Unbelievable. Well, we're out of time, buddy. Guys, thank you so much.
you.
Yes.
Again, you don't have
Thanks for
to.
having us, Steve.
You
Thank
don't
you.
have to
Thank
spend
you.
$1 million
Absolutely not.
to get one of
Yes.
these. Pass them down through the family. You can find all the information you need, right?
Yes.
Women power in these things.
Yes.
Kids, get them going. I'm Chip,
I'm Steve.
And Tyler.
Jackie.
and this is
Chip's
Chip's
Garage.
Garage.